Hey everyone, and welcome to Comics from the Future. My name is Matt. Andy is out of town today, so I am flying solo, but we still wanted to bring you our big show where we tell you about a lot of the big books that you can pre-order by this weekend, because there are a lot of good ones that you can pre-order this weekend. Now, just real quick, just wanted to let you know that because it's only me today, this isn't quite as big as maybe we normally would do if Andy and I were both here together. And some of the covers are not yet available. So I would definitely encourage you to check the website over there, infinityflux.net. When you do your pre-orders, everything will be there. Everything that's available will be there, and hopefully some of the covers will be available by the time you pre-order as well. Also, this is another double dose of Marvel this week. So we are ordering Marvel books for January 22nd and January 29th. So that's why it might be a little bit more Marvel heavy. There's a whole lot of cool covers, cool Marvel covers that I'm going to show you. But yeah, so it's another one of those types of weeks for Marvel, and then in another couple weeks we will get to a week where there is no Marvel because we already pre-ordered them this time around. But let's go ahead and get started with our featured comics, starting with the one that we should have started with on Wednesday. And when I put the list together on Wednesday, I completely missed it, and I feel so bad. It is the Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Phase 3 Annual. Again, we should have started with this one on Wednesday because this is an anthology issue collecting 5 tales of Republic bravery and Nile treachery, including one story written by Charles and Rosemary Soule with art by Mr. Andy Dugan. Yeah, so Andy did some work in here. He did a story on the interior, working with Charles and Rosemary Soule. That's awesome. I remember him telling me a little bit about being in contact with Charles Soule while he was doing this, and that sounded awesome. And now the fruits of that labor is in this book. So also in this book, we have other stories by Josina Ireland, Alyssa Wong, Cavan Scott, and Zoraida Cordova. And this is going to feature a whole bunch of different characters: Jedi Knight Vernestra, Vernestra Rowe, Jedi Younglings, John, Bree, and Toko, Churro the Hutt, the sly Nile Drigget, and the sinister Baron Bulin as they navigate the perils of the impending Battle of Iriadu. So yeah, this is really cool. This is the only cover we have as well, but unfortunately, Andy's name is not on the cover there. But rest assured, Andy does have a story in this that he drew himself, and I do believe I asked him about it today. I think we are going to do a signing. More details to come on that. But yeah, definitely wanted to highlight this one because we love it when Andy has some great work out there, and this is another book from him. And like I said, this is our only cover. Next up, we have The Lucky Devils #1, and this is really cool. This is from Charles Soule, again, with art by Ryan Brown, and this is your team that brought you 8 Billion Genies, which was awesome. It was a huge hit, and I think this one's going to be as well. They also brought you another book, another title called Curse Words, and this one is described as Good Omens meets Curse Words. It's a cheeky, satirical look at good and evil. It's about 2 rebellious demons who decide to start a revolution in hell, and they plan to do that. They plan on manipulating 2 ordinary 20-something humans. So this does I haven't seen any interiors from this yet, but this does kind of sort of feel like it has that 8 Billion Genies vibe, but a little bit more mischievous. You can tell with these characters on the cover, it looks like they are up to no good, but probably up to some cool fun. So your 8 Billion Genies team is back with another great series. This is going to be a 9-issue series. I believe 8 Billion Genies was 8. That would have made sense. So cannot wait to check this one out. So we have our A cover right here. We have a Frank Miller and Alex Sinclair variant, and there is a blank sketch variant as well. Then we have Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon #1. This is from J. Michael Straczynski, and the art is by Will Robson. And this is the first in a series of one-shots that is going to pair together unlikely duos from across the Marvel Universe. This first one, Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon, Doctor Doom has to do something that he does not like to do. He has to ask for a favor, and he asks of it from Rocket Raccoon. I don't know exactly what that favor is. What awaits Rocket in Latveria, we'll have to wait and see. But it does say there's going to be mischief, miscommunication, and an emotional journey across space and time. Don't know what that means, but this should be fun. And there's going to be we'll see on the cover in a second, or on a variant cover. This is our A cover right here. We have the Anandito window shades variant. I don't see any window shades, but I do see an upside down rocket. There's a Lionel Francis Yu promo variant. So you can see some of the other ones we're going to get here. We're going to get Captain America and Volstagg. We are going to get Spider-Man and I believe Doctor Strange. There is a Fin Fang Foom, or I'm sorry, not Spider-Man and Doctor Octopus. We're gonna get Fin Fang Foom, and I don't remember who else. There, Galactus and somebody else. Yeah, so you can see some of the other books we're gonna get, but this one is just Doctor Doom and Rocket. And then we also have a Will Robson variant, which looks really cool. Like it would be cool if Doctor Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme right now. Maybe he could take on Rocket Raccoon as his apprentice. Who knows? Next up, we have Star Wars: A New Legacy #1, and this is written by Charles Soule and Jason Aaron, among others, with art by Raymond Rosanas and Leonard Kirk, among others. And this is a one-shot celebrating 10 years of Star Wars comics at Marvel Comics. So we're going to get Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, Darth Momin, Dr. Aphra, Valence, Chanith Cha, Rick Duel, Commander Zara, the tags, and more. They're all going to collide during a Grand Imperial event thrown by Palpatine. There's going to be a story, a perilous game between BT-1 and Chrysanthemum, and there are a few more in there as well. So yeah, just a one shot. It's been 10 years since Marvel got the rights to, or they got the rights back, I guess, to Star Wars, and this issue is going to celebrate that. So we have our A cover right here, and we have a Kyle Hotz cover. I guess this is that Chrysanthemum and BT1 and 000, or is it 000? I'm not too sure. I don't have Andy here to correct me on the Star Wars stuff. We also have Star Wars: The Bad Batch Ghost Agents #1. This I believe this is going to be a mini series. I'm not sure how many issues. This is written by Michael Moretti and the artist by Ruairi Coleman. And this is and Andy said this on Wednesday. I didn't know this. This is the first miniseries based on the Bad Batch. I think he said that there was a brief appearance by them in one of the Clone Wars books, but this is going to be the first, like, their first full main series. This is set during the Clone Wars. The Bad Batch are going to take on a mission to hunt down a separatist ghost agent who executed a daring heist on Coruscant. And what mysteries does that lead them into? I love the cover here. I ashamedly admit that I haven't seen the Bad Batch, but I want to. They look so cool. So this should be awesome for the Bad Batch fans out there. This is our A cover, and we have this Carlo Mango variant as well. Next up, we have Storm Lifedream #1, and this is a one shot as well. And this is from various creators. This is chock full of all black creative teams who unite in a single anthology book to honor the many extraordinary lives of Aurora Monroe Storm. When an intergalactic historian attempts to update their records on one of the most famous X-Men in multiversal history, they'll find a woman too powerful to contain and risk unleashing a side of her that no one has seen before. And this is going to feature appearances of fan favorite Storms across the eras of Marvel Comics. I want to look through this because I want to. Storm has had some awesome costumes over the years, and I hope that we do see it over the course of time, over the course of her career, I guess, as Storm with the X-Men, and see all those cool costumes. So that should be really cool for the Storm fans out there. She's got a great ongoing series right now, and this is going to go great with that. So this is our A cover. We have a Karen Darbo variant, and we have a Olivier Coipel variant also. And next we have What If Galactus Transform Rogue. I believe this is our fourth in a series of, I believe, 5 one-shots where Galactus transforms a different hero in the Marvel Universe to be his herald, and this one it's going to be Rogue. This one is written by Ann Nocenti, and the art is by Stephen Byrne. And in this one, Rogue uses her mutant power to absorb the Silver Surfer's power cosmic, which blesses her with unimaginable power, but it also does give her the burden of serving as Galactus's herald. So I don't know if she's going to like that or not, but we'll have to see. So this is our A cover. Ron Lim's been doing all the A covers on these. We have a Paul Renaud variant, and there is a sci-fi homage variant. And because we are ordering a double dose of Marvel, we're ordering for 2 weeks of Marvel. We also have What If Galactus Transforms Spider-Gwen, because this is a weekly series. I think, or maybe this might be issues like 3 and 4 instead of 4 and 5. I don't know if we got the third one yet, or we got I don't know. There's either 4 or 5 of these, but this one is all about Spider-Gwen. And this is written by Kalinda Vasquez, and the art is by Daniel Picciotto. And in this one, Spider-Gwen comes to the aid of a wounded herald of Galactus, and in turn, for doing that, Galactus gives her powers, and enlists her in his service. But we all know Spider-Gwen is a good guy, and she cannot turn off that goodness switch. And when she encounters a world reminiscent of her home, she is going to ally with its alien residents to fight against Galactus so that hopefully he doesn't eat it, I guess. So that should be really cool as well. And I love all the designs for these two because they all look like they have Silver Surfer-esque skin. We saw the Hulk one. He's all like he's big and hulky, but he's all like silvered up. It looks really cool. So that was our A cover. This is an homage variant. I'm not sure what it's homaging. Doesn't look familiar. There is a Mark Bagley variant, and with all the that's all the different. Yeah, these are the last two because we've already talked about Gambit and Moon Knight and Hulk. So yeah, the Rogue and the Spider Gwen are the last two. So or the Spider Gwen is the last one. So there's all of them there by Mark Bagley, and then there is a Pete Woods variant also. I like that one a lot. Next up, we have Zootopia. This is a new series from Dynamite. Let's see. I don't know if this is going to be a mini series or ongoing, but this is going to be written by Jeff Parker. The art is by Alessandro Rinaldi. And in this, there's a character named Trip Zebrando, which I'm guessing is a zebra. He is the owner of the PB&J cell phone company. It's kind of like Apple. You know how Apple creates all kinds of cool phones, right? Well, PB&J does that here. And PB&J is about to launch their latest model of phone, but someone has it out for them, for the company and for Trip, and sabotages the launch. But luckily, Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps are on the case to try to figure out who done it, why they're doing it, that kind of thing. But what they discover during their investigation will lead them into a much larger and more complicated case. So for you Zootopia fans, we're going to get a cool new series here. And because it's Dynamite, there's a whole bunch of variants. We have our A cover here. This is by this is a Forstner variant. This is our A cover. There's a Rinaldi variant, and that is your interior artist right there. There is a Rousseau color bleed variant. I love these ones. There's a storybook art variant. That looks really cool. There's a movie characters variant, a Forstner foil variant, and the foil variant, I believe, is going to be more than regular price. So double check with your shop about the price they're going to be putting on the foil variants. There is a white blank variant, and also a teal blank variant. So you can draw whatever characters you want on there. Well, those weren't all the number ones. We have some more, including When I Lay My Vengeance Upon the Number One. This is from Boom, and on Wednesday, Andy talked about how he loves Boom's long titles. You know, Something is Killing the Children, When I Lay My Vengeance Upon Thee. They're going after that manga title for longest title. So this is going to be a 5-issue series. This is written by Gus Moreno, and the artist by Jacob Rebelka. And this is about a guy named Father Barrera. He is a disgraced priest who is haunted by his part in the tragic death of a child. And he's exiled to the remote South American town of Puerto Cristina to apprentice under the controversial exorcist Father Stygian, who has his own methods of dealing with demons that predate the church. So he is super old school when dealing with supernatural stuff. But during this apprenticeship, Father Barrera uncovers an island that is full of evil and supernatural phenomena. And what is that going to lead him into? What kind of dangers? Is he going to learn anything from Father Stygia that he can use to deal with all this stuff? We'll have to wait and see. But this is our cover by Jacob Rebelka, so that's your interior artist right there. We also have a Philly variant, and there is an anniversary. This just says anniversary variant. So yeah, there are those three covers there. Next from Dark Horse, we have a new series, and again, I'm sorry, I don't know if this is a mini. Well, I'm sure it's a mini series, but I just don't know if it's how many. But this is called Ripperland. This is written by Steve Orlando and John Harris Dunning, and the art is by Alessandro Oliveri. Now, this is set in. It doesn't look like it, but this is set in the year 2188, and for the last century, England has operated as a massive Victorian theme park in exchange. I love this. They operate as a Victorian theme park in exchange for American military and financial protection. And I would love to have seen that negotiation. It's like, hey, England, we'll back you up all you want as long as you pretend to be Victorian era London for us. Like I think that's hilarious. So there is an American mogul whose grandson is killed in the heart of London, and that upsets the delicate status quo between that they have going on there. And there is an American special agent named Jesse Holden and a local British police detective named Edwin Fogg. and they're going to have to overcome their differences in order to find the killer who done it, basically. So another murder mystery. I would be willing to say it's maybe some kind of copycat of Jack the Ripper. Maybe it's Jack the Ripper himself. Maybe he figured out how to come back. And this is the only cover we have for that. Now, next up, we have Green Hornet Miss Fury #1. Now, we actually talked about this a couple weeks ago. Just wanted to bring it up again, just to let you know that the FOC date got pushed back. If you already pre-ordered this the last time we talked about it, no worries, your order is still in. It's just that they pushed the deadline back to give you more time to pre-order. So this is written by Alex Zagura, who is killing it on The Question right now, among other books. But I'm loving The Question, and the art is by excuse me, the art is by Federico Ceresa, and this is about the Green Hornet and Miss Fury. You see them on the cover. They investigate the murder of a beloved professor named Javier Mercado. But during their investigation, they find out that Mercado was a mentor to both of them at different points in time, back when he led a double life as the Silver Shrike. But whoever killed the Silver Shrike, Professor Mercado, is going after heroes from both the past and the present, and Green Hornet and Miss Fury are at the top of the list. So this sounds very cool, very crime noir kind of thing, as Green Hornet is. Now, again, this is Dynamite. You guys know that Dynamite has a ton of covers. We already showed all those, so I just pulled the A cover for today. But if you do want to see the variants for this book, again, go check infinityflux.net, and all of them will be right there. And next up, we have Shadow of the Golden Crane #1. I know this is going to be at least 3 issues. I don't know if it's going to go beyond that, but we have seen the solicitations at least through issue 3. And this is written by Chris Robertson, and the art is by Michael Avon Omi of Powers fame. And this is about a mysterious BPRD case set back in the 1960s that forces Agent Su Zhang to dive into the history of the secretive Golden Crane Society in a paranormal puzzle that unfolds across time. So I don't. There's no mention of if Hellboy is going to be part of the story, but he's on the cover. BPRD is involved, so he might be in there as well. So just wanted to point this out for you Hellboy fans out there. And this is our only cover for that one as well. But we've got some more cool stuff to talk about. There are a bunch of notable 2s and 3s and beyond that. Starting with Juvenile #2. The first one came out this week, although I'm not sure if we received it. I think maybe we were shorted on our orders. So I don't know if you got Juvenile #1 from us, let me know. I don't remember seeing it when we were getting our stuff together for our Monday show, or I guess our Wednesday show. But yeah, this is the second issue. This is going to be a 5-issue series. And in this one, the young man here, Max, he has a secret where he has these he's got these telekinetic powers, and he's trying to get out of this terrible place where they're treating teenagers terribly. And there's a girl named Sarah. I guess we met her in the first issue. She is determined to learn more about Max, and she pushes him to reveal the truth behind his telekinetic power. So if you enjoyed the first issue, definitely don't miss out on pre-ordering the second one. We have our A cover right here, and then there's just a black variant of that. You can see the hairstyle changes a little bit, I think. Yeah, a little bit. I love going back and forth between these. Like he's like normal, and then he goes Super Saiyan. That's really cool. Next up, we have New Gods #2. We have not gotten the first one yet. The first issue comes out on December 18th. I've already read that. Andy and I already read that a couple weeks back, and it is awesome. And I highly encourage you, if you pre-order that, go ahead and pre-order this one too, because this is going to be a really, really cool series. Written by Rom V, and I didn't get the artist name, unfortunately. But this is very, after reading the first issue, and I shouldn't make this comparison because Rom V is a fantastic artist in his own right who tells his own big, grandiose stories. But when I read this, to me, it kind of felt like a big, grand Jonathan Hickman story. Jonathan Hickman loves to plant those seeds early on and just like build these mysteries over the course of time. That's what this book felt like, and it was awesome. So we know that at the end of the All-In special, Darkseid died. But and they talked about this in the marketing for that issue leading into the All-In stuff. There's only one Darkseid in all of the multiverse, right? And if he's the one constant across the multiverse. And when he dies, something else has to come in and fill that void that he leaves. And in this one, or I guess I don't remember if it happened in the first issue or not, but Darkseid is dead, but a new child has been born in his place. And several forces, both good and evil, descend on this child as his latent powers begin to manifest themselves. God, I wish I could remember if that was in the first issue. We read it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I'm not. I don't quite remember. But in this one, Mr. Miracle is going to have to decide whether to venture out to save that child or to stay home and raise his own child, who is still very, very young. And while all of that is playing out on Earth, the forces of an intergalactic inquisition march closer. So I know that all sounds a little bit strange. It will all make much more sense when the first issue comes out. But this is really cool. They did say that even though like Justice League Unlimited, that is the core of the DC universe, and all the big things are going to happen there. This book in particular is going to really explore the ramifications of Darkseid being gone, and again, what comes in or who, I guess, to fill that void. That is all going to be explored in this 12 issue series, and it is going to be awesome. The artwork is really cool too. I wish I had gotten the artist name. Kegel. Shoot, I can't remember. Kegel. If the first issue looks great, I'm sure this one will be too. So can't say enough good things about the new God series. Definitely highly recommended. So this is our A cover. We have a Christian Ward variant. This is the cover that we showed off on Wednesday. I thought this was the A cover because the A cover wasn't there on Wednesday, or unless I missed it. But this is not the A cover. This is the Christian Ward variant, and then we have a Mike Perkins variant as well. All right, sorry about that, guys. And speaking of DC number twos, where the number one hasn't come out yet, we have Challengers of the Unknown number two. The first issue has not come out yet. It also comes out on December 18th. Unfortunately, Andy and I have not read that one yet, but I am dying to because it sounds really, really fun. So, in this one, there is a strange rupture in the deepest part of the ocean that draws the Justice League's scrutiny and awakens a terrifying creation. And this is going to guest star Batman, Aquaman, and the Sea Devils. I just think this sounds really cool. Um, the challenges of the unknown. They're not superheroes or anything, but they're like a team of science adventurers. And this is a whole new series. The artist on this is Sean Isaacs, who did a great run on the current Green Arrow series. He just hopped off of that one, and now he's doing this one. And from what I have seen, it looks phenomenal. Plus, we've seen the challengers of the unknown just kind of milling about the Justice League Watchtower in Justice League number one and in the Question. And we got to know a little bit more about what is their role. They're not superheroes, they don't have superpowers, they're more scientists than anything. So what is their role with this new status quo in the DC universe with the Justice League on the Watchtower? And it's going to be really cool to see them doing their thing too, because like we talked about before, all of these DC books, DC has been doing such a great job of making feel like all of these books are connected together. They're each telling different stories, but they all connect together to make one nice big puzzle, to tell one nice big story. And I am very excited for this. So we have our A cover right here, and we have a Travis Mercer variant as well. Next up from Marvel, we have Hellhunters number two. The first issue of this one has not come out yet either, and I'm actually not sure. It's in the next week or two, I believe. But in this one, Sergeant Fury, because this is set back in the 40s, right? So Sergeant Fury, Peggy Carter, the Soldier Supreme, and Ghost Rider 44, who I think we first saw in the pages of Incredible Hulk, they hunt down the demonic Captain Bruckner, and they come across a squad of Nazis that have been taken out by an unstoppable force of Allied soldiers. Or did they? It turns out that that unstoppable force of Allied soldiers is just one Bowie knife wielding killing machine, a man known as Logan, who is going to join their team in this. So I guess maybe he's not in the first issue. Again, it's not out yet, so we don't know for sure. But I love period pieces like this. I love books set back, and especially like in the time of the late 30s through like the mid 40s. I love that learning and reading about that time period. So this is going to be really cool, I think. This is our A cover right here, and we have a Salvador LaRocca variant. And then here is TVA number two. Again, this first issue is not out yet either, but because we are ordering Marvel so far ahead, I mean, it is December 6th as of this recording, and this book comes out on the 22nd. Hellhunters that I just talked about comes out on the 29th, so we are ordering way ahead for Marvel right now. So invariably, you're just going to run into this situation, but it all will eventually get caught up. So anyway, TVA number two here. This is going to be a 5 issue series. And there are dreams that have begun haunting the TVA, and tracing the truth Tracing the truth behind it has led the team straight to hell, literally. And does the son of Satan have the answers they need, or maybe the mysterious stranger that's been following around Gwen and Gambit? Maybe they have something to reveal. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, that'll probably make more sense after we read the first issue, but that's what we have for now. So we have our A cover right here, and then we have a Phil Noto variant. We also have the question all along the Watchtower #3. #2 has not come out yet, but #1 has it. I loved it. It's one of my favorite all-in books of all of them. Like, it was so good. I loved that first issue. And this one, the question, Renee Montoya, she's going to have to overcome her self-doubt, which she does have because she feels like she's in way above her head. You know, in the first issue, she's like, why am I here? I'm surrounded by, godlike beings, and I'm just a detective. Like, why am I here? She's going to have to overcome that self doubt to get to the bottom of the mystery that threatens her and the entire Justice League. We know they brought her on as kind of the sheriff of the Watchtower to try to figure out who is breaking into the Watchtower's security systems and why, all that kind of stuff. Can she rely on the team that she has built around her to stave off disaster? And in the first issue, we saw that's Blue Beetle Ted Kord, Blue Beetle Jaime Reyes, that is Animal Man, Batwoman, and I think there was maybe another one as well. So are they all gonna like get together and deal with this big thing? And what does this mystery have to do with the Atom Project, which that has not come out yet either, but we did talk about the first issue of that a week or two ago. And again, just like I said, DC is doing such a great job of tying all these books together. You can read them all and get a giant one big picture of what's going on, or you can read whichever ones you want and still not be lost. It's totally up to you. So don't feel like if you read this you have to read the Atom Project or vice versa. You do not have to, but if you do, they're all connected, and it's going to give you this nice, awesome, big universe. So I can't wait to see what that is all about. So this is our A cover right here. We have a Jorge Fornes variant. I love that. And then there's a Lucio Perillo variant also. And she's like got half of her mask ripped off. Terminator #4. I thought this one sounded really cool. This is a neat series. I haven't read any of this yet, but Andy has, and he really likes it. And this is a series of kind of one and done stories, not of the Terminator coming back in time to try and kill Sarah Connor, but of various Terminators going back in time to various points in time to disrupt the future, basically. And this one is set in 1986 at the height of the Cold War, which is cool because the first Terminator movie came out in 1984. So this is kind of like right in that time period there. There are American and Soviet submarines that are playing a deadly game of cat and mouse out in the ocean. These submarines, they're kind of secluded in the ocean, like I said. So they're one of the most remote and secure locations on the planet, but also a tempting target for an enemy who can see the future, particularly one that wants to set off a nuclear holocaust. So if you've been reading this series, do not miss out on this next issue. We have our A cover right here. We have a Galman variant. There is a Stags variant. There is a Cousins variant. There is a foil variant, and you can't tell the difference on that one. But again, check with your shop to see what the price of that one is going to be. And there is also the Alex Ross Burning Earth variant. Alex Ross's first work was on the Terminator Burning Earth, so they're re-releasing these as covers to this new series. Next up is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #6, and I wanted to talk about this one because this is the first issue of the actual ongoing story of this series. Each one of these issues so far, and #5 that hasn't come out yet, each one of those is focused on a different turtle. With #4 focusing on Donatello, #5 is going to focus on Casey Jones. But as of #6, they are all back together now, and the ongoing artist Juan Ferreira. This is his first issue, so he is going to be the last 5 issues, or the last 4 issues plus #5 have all been done by different artists. But now Juan Ferreira is on board as the regular ongoing artist now that the story is going is kicked off underway. So I love that it says the turtles are back together, they're on the run, and they're at one another's throats because they were separated for a long time. We saw them get back together in issue #4, but it wasn't like the happiest of reunions, I guess. And I guess they're still working through their issues in this issue. Navigating a New York City that used to be their home, but is now a hostile territory. The turtles try to get things back to normal, but Donatello is deeply scarred following his captivity. And yeah, if you read number 4, you definitely understand how he can be kind of not quite himself. Will the four brothers be able to rally, or they're gonna, or will they find themselves at the mercy of the Foot Clan, which has been chasing them around since the first issue? So we'll have to see. But it's cool just to have them back, and Juan Ferreira's art is awesome. So I cannot wait to see what this looks like. There is the A cover here. This is a Fornes variant, and wait, yeah, and then this is Juan Ferreira. So that's your interior artist ongoing. There's another cover for this too, but the it wasn't ready yet, so I had to take that one out of there. And Fantastic Four number 28. I wanted to talk about this one because this is a prologue to One World Under Doom, which is the next big, I don't know if I should call it an event for Marvel, but it's the next big story that Marvel will be telling it starting early next year. There's going to be a One World Under Doom series, and it's going to kind of be the status quo because we know that Doctor Doom is now the Sorcerer Supreme of the Marvel Universe. And with that power, he is going to use it to take over the world, essentially, and the heroes are going to have to stop him. But we haven't really seen him do anything since he got that power. It's been months since he got that power, and he kind of like he just went back to Latveria and sealed the country in a big dome, and nobody can get in or out. Nobody knows what he's doing in there, and that is making the heroes very, very nervous, including Reed Richards. He's been trying to in these few months that Doctor Doom hasn't been seen. I guess we saw him in Amazing Spider-Man, right? Because he does the Spider-Man thing. I guess. Well, that was just his astral form, though. Reed Richards during this time has been trying to find a way to understand magic so that he can figure out what Doctor Doom is up to and stop him, but he has not had much success. So Sue suggests that there is another person who holds both a graduate degree in physics and has an understanding of magic. That is Dane Whitman, the Black Knight. So Dane helps send Reed and Sue, or send their mind back in time to possess the bodies of two people in the past who don't have superpowers. So I'm assuming that what we see on the cover here is not actually going to happen. Uh, their minds will be there, but not their bodies and their powers. But their minds are going to go back in the past, take over the bodies of two dudes back there, and they're going to search for one magical item that can cut through Doom's illusions. However, the Black Knight has motivations of his own, and the past isn't what it used to be. So, just wanted to let you know about this. If you're interested in the One World Under Doom stuff, this is a little bit of a lead in into that, and I think this sounds really cool. Plus, this series, written by Ryan North, in this one, the artist by Stephen Cummings. This series has been great anyway, so I would love to talk about it all the time. So this is our A cover. We have a Andre Bresson homage variant. This is a Fantastic Four is homaging Fantastic Four number 1, and you can see what that looks like there. There is also a Disney variant with various Disney characters as the Fantastic Four. There's Peach Momoko variant, and this is from Marvel Rivals, and then there is a Phil Noto variant for that as well. Next up is cool covers. Like I said, there are a lot of these cool covers, so I'm not really going to tell you anything about the books. We're just going to kind of speed round through this, but there's a bunch of them. They're really neat, so I would definitely wanted to show them to you. So we have Batman and Robin Year 1, number 4. This is just the A cover, but it's by Chris Samnee, and it looks awesome. Chris Samnee is the interior artist, and I just thought that looked really cool. There's also a Carrie Randolph variant, and there is a Riley Rossmo variant. I love the covers, all those covers. This is Batman Full Moon number 4. This is the last issue of this series, but I wanted to show you this because this is a Steven Subic Glow in the Dark variant. So I can't wait to see what that looks like in the dark. And then got to show off a Francavilla variant, right? When it's horror and werewolves and stuff. Francisco Francavilla is the king of those types of books. Moving on to Batman Superman World's Finest number 35. This is the Frank Cho variant of Superman and Batman going up against Swamp Thing. There is also another Chris Samnee variant. And there is a Chris Anka sweater weather variant. And we are going to see more of these. Catwoman number 72. I really like this Edgecure variant. And there is a Nathan Zerdy sweater weather variant as well. I wonder if she's in the same hot tub as them. It doesn't. Maybe she's like on the other side, right? Nightwing number 122. Just wanted to show you that sweater weather variant. I don't know how he is not freezing snowboarding in just his skivvies, but he's Nightwing. He can do whatever. Titans number 19, this Carl Kerschel variant. I love Carl Kerschel's work, and I thought this was a great team shot Just wanted to show you. We have Wonder Woman number 17, this awesome David Nakayama variant featuring the Wonders, right? They're all helping out while Diana takes care of the newborn Trinity. The last issue was awesome. So I want to show you that. And then the Mike Del Mundo variant of Diana, making a little W with she's doing the string trick, right? We also have this nice homage cover of Geiger number 10, homaging Action Comics number 1. This is just so cool. This is by Jerry Ordway and Brad Anderson. So Jerry Ordway doing an homage of Action Comics number 1. That is awesome. Amazing Spider-Man number 66. This is the Scotty Young 8 Deaths of Spider-Man cover. These are the ones I've been getting for this story, and they are awesome. And then we also have another Paco Diaz Fantastic Four homage variant, homaging Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man number 1. Deadpool number 10. This is another. So this series of covers is hard to get our brain around because they're doing a series of homage covers, but they're even if it's not a Fantastic Four book, they are still using the Fantastic Four characters on a book that isn't a Fantastic Four book. So it's a little bit hard to get your brain around, but this is an homage to New Mutants number 98 with Namor and Doctor Doom and other various members of the Fantastic Four. This one is by Chad Hardin. This is Moon Knight number 4. I don't have the artist on this one. Wait, does that say Chaykin? I'm not sure. Another Fantastic Four homage variant for that one. Phoenix number 7 has a Fantastic Four homage variant by Corin Howell, homaging the Rise of the Phoenix, although this time it is the Rise of the Human Torch. I love Thing's face right there. He's great. But Phoenix number 7 also have this really nice Edgecure variant of Lady Sif. She might pop up in this. I mean, there has been a little bit of a Asgardian tomfoolery going on in the Phoenix book, so I would love to see her, and I love that cover. That is so nice. Psylocke number 3, the second issue hasn't come out yet, but the first one was awesome. I really like the first issue. There is this Kezia Nye variant and a Pablo Villalobos variant for Psylocke number 3. Scarlet Witch number 8 has this really nice Marcus Toe homage variant, homaging Avengers number 4, only again with the Fantastic Four. So again, you can see a Scarlet Witch book with an homage cover using Fantastic Four characters. It makes no sense, but it is super cool. I love that Herbie the Robot is in there. He's in place of the Wasp. That's great. This is Spider-Boy number 15. This is the Mike McCone Fantastic Four homage variant. I love Thing is front and center there. And wait, is that is an homage to Secret Wars number 8. Holy cow, I'm about to get that one. That's awesome. And then there is a Todd Knock iconic variant with Bullseye. We know that Bullseye has been part of this story for the last couple of issues. It's been very cool. Uncanny X-Men number 8 has a David Lopez homage variant with Sue holding a droopy reed. I guess that he's I would yeah. So many thoughts on that one. And there's also a Mike Mayhew Nightcrawler variant. I just had to throw that one in there because Nightcrawler is my favorite X-Men, and that looks great. And then X-Men number 10 has this really nice Larix Magic variant, and then a Bandini Fantastic Four homage variant, kind of homaging Jim Lee's X-Men number 1. We've gotten a lot of different covers like that lately. The Gia Russo covers, there was a connecting cover that sort of homaged all that, and now we get to see it with Fantastic Four characters. And next we have graphic novels and more, starting with, speaking of Fantastic Four, we have a new printing of the Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 1. This is going to be $125, and it just simply collects Fantastic Four number 1 through 30 from back in 1961, and about 4 years worth of Fantastic Four. I have the previous printing of this, and I've read it all. I've read over 100 issues straight of Silver Age Fantastic Four into the Bronze Age, and the Silver Age Fantastic Four stuff is some of the best. I would say that one and Amazing Spider-Man are the two best Silver Age Marvel titles, and this one is really cool, especially Fantastic Four, because a lot of the Marvel Universe starts in Fantastic Four. So many first appearances, so many big concepts and things like that, and it is so cool to see all of that start in these pages right here. So this is the standard edition cover by Alex Ross. So this is the version that's available at bookstores everywhere, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, that kind of thing. But we know you like to shop at comic book stores like ours, so this is the Jack Kirby variant that is only available at comic book stores like ours. Next up, we have a new DC Finest book, and I love these, and I love that these books have been collecting various stories and not always the most obvious ones, right? Case in point, Plastic Man, The Origin of Plastic Man. This is going to be $39.99, and this collects the original long out of print Plastic Man stories that were published between August 1941 and July 1944 in Police Comics number 1 through 36 and Plastic Man number 1 through 2. I have never read any Plastic Man books from way back in the day, so I'm definitely going to get this one. I'm very excited about that. And we also have the Doom Patrol Silver Age Omnibus. I think that we just had, or maybe are going to have, a Silver Age Doom Patrol DC Finest book as well. So I'm not sure what the overlap is there, but this is really cool. This is going to be $125, and it collects every issue from the 60s. So My Greatest Adventure 80 through 85, the Doom Patrol 86 when it changed over, up through 121, and then Challengers of the Unknown number 48. So really cool Silver Age Doom Patrol stuff here. We have Zatanna Bringing Down the House, the hardcover, collecting the 5-issue Black Label series. Zatanna Bring Down the House was phenomenal. I really, really enjoyed it. It's Black Label, so it's its own continuity, telling its own story. And this collects all of that series. This is going to be $29.99. And then we have Batman number 609, the facsimile edition. And I'm willing to bet that we are going to get facsimile editions of every issue of the original Hush. We had 608 on the show last week, and now 609, which is part two. This one is going to feature a regular cover, a foil cover, and probably a blank variant as well. I don't think that one was on the Lunar website, but that's how they usually roll. So get that there. And then Hornsby and Halo number one, the second print. The first print just came out. It was really fun once it got expanded. You know, we read a little bit about it in the Ghost Machine 80-page preview book. We got a little taste of it here, but seeing the story fleshed out made it so much better. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. So if you missed it the first time, now is your chance to get the second print. And that is it for Comics from the Future. So apologies for the slightly shorter show. I did take a few things out of here, but flying solo, this is what I felt I had in me. But again, if you want to see even more, because this definitely is not everything, if you want to see even more books, please visit infinityflux.net. You can see everything that is available for pre-order. You can see all of the covers. Hopefully more variant covers will be available than what was available for this show. But yeah, there is a ton of stuff out there. Pre-orders are due around Sunday, or on Sunday around 9 o'clock, just to give us time on Monday to get all the orders put together and actually submit it on Monday. Our next show is on Monday. This has been a crazy week. I know, for you guys who've been watching us, we had a show on Monday, two on Wednesday. I'm by myself today, but next week we should be back to normal. Some of our books came in today. The rest of them should come in on Monday. Andy will be back, so we should have a regular show on Monday. Next Wednesday is our next episode of our Infinity Flux Letters page, our live show where we answer your questions, talk about various topics, interact with you while we're streaming live. And also want to let you know that a week from tomorrow, so on December 14th, is our Infinity Flux 10-year anniversary. It's been 10 years. This place has grown so much in the last 10 years, and we thank all you guys for all of your support. Check Instagram. There is a very cool post on Instagram and maybe on Facebook too, talking about all the cool stuff that we're doing on Saturday the 14th. There's going to be cake. There's going to be free bagels. There's going to be all kinds of sales and just a lot of fun stuff. So that is coming up on Saturday the 14th, our 10-year anniversary. Guys, that is going to do it for me for today. I sincerely appreciate you watching. I will see you again on Monday. And until then, have a great weekend.